YouTube at this juncture, I will be able to have a very quick discussion. I will try to elucidate to you all about abbreviation. But before tackling the entire definition and giving examples to this, I will be able to define first what is really abbreviation. Okay, abbreviation is the shortcut of anything or something to save time speaking as well as time saved through writing. So this has to do something with the first letter of the word. And then if you have so many words, then you have to take down only the first letter of each word and combine that there, and it will become the abbreviation. For example, I have this very common abbreviation. Let us say Pagaza. Okay, so as we can remember, so this is only applicable to the Filipinos. So we really studied a lot about abbreviations in our history, or social studies, or araling panlipunan, or shall we say in our science and technology, right? We are really have the funness, and we have fun in memorization of various words or any agencies pertaining to abbreviations. Okay, for instance, by the way, we have before in the past DEX, and now this is the DepEd. Okay, DEX, Department of Education, Culture and Sports. So we have capital DECS, and then at present we have DepEd, Department of Education. So that's very clear. Any questions so far? Okay, so if you have some questions or any violent suggestions or whatever, it's up to you. Then just comment down below in the comment section. So let's discuss it professionally, and you can also drop a message to my FB Messenger, then I will be able to explain to you in diplomacy professionally as well. You got a point? Okay, and that's very clear between tip, ed, and text. Now, when you try to abbreviate, you need to have the capital letters and not the small letters. And that's really the absolute rule or the rule of thumb in English language if you're trying to abbreviate for something. You get a point? Okay, another example. This is also a common example in our schools, right? So if we are studying science and technology, for instance, I love to use for instance because this is an advanced vocabulary, okay, rather than saying example, and it's very common, right? So for instance, wow, okay, so it's gonna be like pagasa. Okay, what do you mean by pagasa? Oh, it's very abstruse and enigmatical. If you say, oh, pagasa, really. Most of us, we could not able to be remembering that because that's a very long time ago. And then we will say to ourselves that, oh, my era was past. I'm no longer at school. But remember, learning and knowledge is a continuous process until your last breath. Okay, remember this. Okay, we kept on adding knowledge day by day. Could it be in different references, books, or in any references, materials, or sources that will be able to find knowledge, and also through experience in our daily lives. It could be the lesson that we learn. That's also knowledge from us. And there are a lot of knowledge that we'll be able to gain in this entire world, in this contemporary world, right? Now, going to Pagaza, okay, capital P, capital A, capital G, capital S, capital A. Okay, so when we mean Pagaza, for example, if we forgot really what it's all about, just try to think about the weather. Okay, so weather prediction, weather forecast, things like, oh, it has to do something with the atmosphere, right? That's the first identification in remembering, because that's too difficult sometimes, right? Because we are not really remembering everything in our past education. during our elementary, high school, or college, or whatever. Especially we are very busy now in the real world of working just to earn money for a living, as it were, bread and butter and everything, right? Okay, so Pagasa, capital P, Philippines, or shall we say Philippine, right? Actually, it means the same thing. It matters only in grammar accuracy and preciseness. Sorry, okay. P is the Philippine. Okay, we drop the letter S just to synchronize the grammatical preciseness of our words. Sometimes we use Philippines, sometimes we use Philippine, but it has the same meaning, just only dropping the letter S. It depends on our utilization of sentence or paragraph. Now we can discover that, oh, it's really Philippines, and okay, it's also really Philippine, by the way. So, whatever. It depends on your comfortability, but be sure you are grammatically precise or accurate. Something like, preciseness and accuracy would mean the same thing. Okay, so capital letter P is Philippine. So A will be atmospheric. Okay, because it has to do something with the weather. And of course, that is in the atmosphere. Okay, you got the point. So letter G will be geographical, things like that. Just correct me if I'm wrong also, because this is on the spot vlog. This is not scripted. Okay, G is geographical, right? Okay, things like that. And then S, okay, what is letter S for you? Okay, pag-asa. Letter A, sorry. Letter A will be astronomical. Okay, astronomical. And letter S will be services administration. But I think it's not really fit to use geographical based on my brain cells now on the spot. It looks like it has to do something with the land. It could either be geophysical. I think so. Yup. It's gonna geophysical, not geographical. Because when you talk about geography, it has to do something with the land. But in here, we're focusing in the atmosphere. So we're gonna use the geophysical. So again, Philippine, okay, astronomical, geophysical, okay, services administration, ganon. Philippine, okay, atmospheric, sorry, okay, geophysical, astronomical services administration. Sorry guys, because this is on the spot, really. My brain is in a subconscious mind. Okay, got the point, meaning quick notion and intuition, not really studied. Okay, got a point. Okay, so Pagaza, again, Philippine atmospheric, geophysical, astronomical services administration. Okay, that's gonna be the first example. And the second example will be the laser. It has to do something with the application of the X-ray specifically, and there's an example of the gamma ray generally, right? The X-ray has been discovered by Mr. Roentgen in 1895 in the 18th century. Okay, so this will be used in the operation, internal operation of, for example, in our vital organs inside the body. So this is going to be not painful because it is not surgical operation. You will not be able to cut somewhere else, or the doctor or the physician or the surgeon will not be able to cut your outer layer of your skin just to do the operation, right? So they're gonna use the laser. So what's the abbreviation or the acronym of laser? That's gonna be light, okay, amplification, okay, simulation, emission, radiation, okay. You get the point. So things like that, okay. So emission, laser, light, amplification, okay, emission, laser, simulation, emission, radiation, okay, like that. Again, say it by yourself. Okay, so the letter A, sometimes you'll be confused by the word, let's say, amplitude. sometimes, right? But it's not, it doesn't deal with amplitude, it deals with amplification. Okay? You get the point? So it looks like advanced, right? Amplification. It looks like also an amplifier to amplify something, action verb. And then when it became a noun, it is amplifier. Then the action verb will be amplify, and the ing form will be amplifying. But here it's different. That is amplification. Wow, really? Just research that for me also because it looks like errate. Oh no, it looks like erratum. Okay, error by the way. Okay, so just review that by yourself because I'm not also a living dictionary. Okay, that's only based on my stock knowledge and acquired knowledge in my high school. Or yep, yeah, definitely. Okay, you get the point. It's gonna be the text, the deep ed, the laser. Okay, like that. So there's a lot. Now, I will be able to introduce you something when you write an essay, when you write a letter, or when you write an article, or you write up. Wow, when you write a write up. So it's gonna be like it looks like a bungi, right? But that's gonna be the accent of British. Okay, dropping the letter D somewhere in the middle of a staircase. You get a point? So this is also an idiom. Okay, meaning to say you don't have to understand this literally. So, for example, Chinese. For example, right? Okay, so we have to say this amplitude. Okay, example only for the purpose of discussion. So the letter T is in the middle or somewhere in between the too much letters from the first and the last letters also as well. Okay, you get the point? So you're gonna say amplitude. Sorry, amplitude. Okay, water. So it's gonna be water. So you're gonna be having the silent letter T in the middle of the staircase. Sometimes also you'll be able to have the silent of the letters in the first of a word and the last sometimes also, right? And there's so many, right? Sachet. Oh, I'm gonna buy one sachet of Nescafe. Oh, ang arte. One sachet of Nescafe. Okay, so we need to say dropped out the letter T in the last in the staircase. Okay, in the middle of the staircase, in the beginning of the staircase, and the last of the staircase. Staircase here is not word for word, meaning this is only a word. You get the point? So in the first letter of the staircase, in the middle of the staircase, and the last of the letter of the staircase, things like that. You get the point? So you don't have to understand this in a literal manner or in a word for word manner. Okay, another examples. There's a lot. I cannot have everything because the whole moment of it will not be finished. You get the point? So it would took a longer time for me to do that. Okay, so example, let's have ETC. What do you mean by ETC? So this is also another way of abbreviation that doesn't imply the using of the first letter. For example, you will say ETC and you'll try to look a word that is starting from letter E. It's not like that also. You get the point? But this is also an abbreviation, okay, or an acronym. Okay, you can use that interchangeably, whether an abbreviation or an acronym. It depends on you. But in here, ETC, and then IE, okay, like that, EG. If you will see different books all over the world, you can see this somewhere along in the passage of their, chapters. Because these four are really in journalism, technical study. Okay, ATC, and this will be in small letters. Okay, and contrary to the abbreviation of a something, a particular noun, that you'll be able to write in capital letters. But in here, in this abbreviation, you're gonna use the small letter. Okay, for example, I'll be able to say and others. I will mention so many things like singing, dancing, playing, praying. It's etc. or etc. Okay, etc. or etc. meaning okay, and so on. Okay, meaning and other things like that. Okay, but be careful also. Sometimes it will be confused a little bit with the words it al, et period, el period. So this will be used in the books. Okay, more professionally rather than the etc. But sometimes also other books have, but most of the times et period, el period, or it al is more professional to use. Okay, things like that. So it al meaning and others. Okay, for example, I'll be able to mention a lot in the same manner, in the same level, in the same degree. Then I have to put it al, meaning and others. Okay, for example, yesterday I ate apple, mango, guava, strawberry, it all. Meaning and others. Okay, or and many more. Okay, so etc is just like an informal way of saying, but al or it al looks professional in the books, magazines, or in a journalism world. Because usually when you talk about something and etc., like for example in a title of a movie, then for example it is having so many things, then we can curtail or we can dwindle that into simpler words like etc or etc. In Tagalog, at iba pa, ATBP. Okay, small letters, right? We have also that in Tagalog, right? Okay, now we have ETAL, and then another thing also, we have another example. We have also EG. Small letter E, period, G as in goat, period. Okay, EG meaning example. For example, okay, so if you try to avoid letters too much because it cannot save space in your write-up article, documentation, procedure, or whatever you are trying to make, okay, in terms of English language and literature, we will be able to say it that way, E.g., okay, meaning to say example. For example, see, like that. Okay, and you will say also, for instance. For instance and for example are just the same meaning. Okay, you get the point. To avoid that declaration to match in your write-up an article, you'll be able to use EG. So let's review. ETC, ETAL, ETAL. Okay, EG. And you have also IE. Okay. For example, if you say something that is obscure in nature and it looks like skeptical, and that, oh, it's an abagos. I cannot really understand about that. And it leads me to perplex my mind. Things like that. Or bewildered your mind. Or let's make a very common word. Or let's use the common word. Confuse. Because it looks like advanced, right? Okay, you get the point. So I'm gonna use that examples a lot. So you will say, for instance, for example, okay, like that. Okay, you get the point. Now going back to IE, meaning it's not industrial engineering. Okay, it's not the capital I, the capital E. That means industrial engineering, one of the courses in engineering, right? So the smaller I, smaller is IE, meaning to say, that is to say, for example, yesterday there was really a fight in the city and I cannot understand. IE, meaning to say, that is to say that they are fighting physically. You need to mention specifically what the fighting all about. That's IE. Okay, meaning you need to elaborate specifically what's that fighting all about generally, because you are stated only the general fighting. You are not focusing to the specificity of the thought and the sense of what you are trying to elucidate. We are trying to elucidate or elaborate, by the way. You get the point. Okay, but be careful in using advanced vocabulary, because sometimes, just like me, I will be confused also how to use it properly. But since I'm practicing having a connected speech, then I can be able also to extract what's the best and appropriate terminology for that. Okay, just like this, I'm having the on-the-spot vlog, and at first I don't know what to do. Since I have a connected speech and have so many ideas in my brain cells and in my neurons, then I can easily put into words Okay, especially if you are eloquent, and sometimes you're also verbatim sometimes. Okay, be careful with the words utilization between loquent, eloquent, and verbatim. So, and verbosity. Okay, get the point. So, oh, Junjun is so conversant. He is really a person that is too verbose, verbose, meaning to say too much words. Okay, sir, to say this is my weakness. The moment I have the microphone in my mouth, the moment I will speak, then there's so many words will come into my brain cells on the spot. Okay, things like that. And then sorry that I cannot talk also straight in Tagalog. Well, if I try to, then I can, but I'm very convenient and comfortable in speaking in English straight. Okay, thank you so much for my vlog. I hope you like it regarding abbreviation. If you are having questions with the clarity of my elucidation and my discussion, even though how hard I tried explicitly in discussing the abbreviations, okay, notion or philosophy or knowledge or insight, then you'll be able to comment about it in the comment section. And then because I will be very comfortable to have the error statement. Okay, because in this world we are subject for imperfection. There's no perfection in this contemporary world. Okay, bye bye. God bless everybody. See you later. I hope you like this vlog and you can even share this to other people, all that who loves English language that much, the same as you, right? Okay, and remember this, that Jesus loves us. Bye bye. God bless everybody. See you later. I'm very noisy, right? Okay, noisy.